New York is a blue state, Georgia less so. So do you think this is just a progressive state problem because we are seeing him charged in Georgia?
Well, I think it's again a two-tier system of justice problem. Fonnie Lewis, as was the case with Letitia James, the AG of New York, as was the case with Alvin Bragg, the DA of Manhattan, all ran promising to get Donald Trump. Again, I don't think that's what prosecutors are supposed to do. Prosecutors are supposed to do justice. They're not supposed to focus their time and attention trying to get people. It's just completely improper. And it seems to me the ABA, the American Bar Association, ought to be saying something about their, in my opinion, violation of their canons of ethics.
I am curious. Donald Trump was slapped with a gag order in his New York trial. What do you think of that?
Unfair. Michael Cohen, who apparently is going to testify, is on CNN. Been on CNN a couple times during since the trial has started, talking about what a bad guy Donald Trump is, but Donald Trump can't respond. I think it's unfair, and I think as you and I around this time, a judge right now is looking at whether or not the gag order is improper, and I have a good feeling it's going to be lifted. I think it's unfair. I think it's a violation of his First Amendment. Even the what's that left wing organization? Not American Bar Association. Even the ACLU said that it was unfair and a violation of his First Amendment rights.
Do you think he's doing any favors with his conduct, though? He was accused of violating it, I believe, over 10 times now. Would you wish that he maybe stopped posting on Truth Social, or do you think that matters?
You're not going to take the Trump out of Trump. That's who and what he is. I still believe it is unfair. Uh, there are lots of things that Donald Trump has said over the last several years that I, Larry Elder, would not have said. On the other hand, if Donald Trump were not bold and brash the way he is, he would not be president. Most of us thought he would never have a chance of winning, at least at first. And apparently, his close friends advised him not to even run when he decided to run. So this is a guy who has a healthy disrespect for so-called experts, and that's one of the reasons he is who he is. I don't think you can take the Trump out of Trump.
The Make
I do, however,
America.
I will say one thing. I've heard Donald Trump say that he intends to testify on his own behalf. I think that would be ill-advised. I'm a trial lawyer when I practice law, and once you sit there, you open yourself up for all sorts of lines of cross-examination. So I think he'd be well advised, and I'm sure his lawyers are advising him not to take the stand, to let Alvin Bragg make his case, and then hopefully at least one or more juror will say, you've not committed any kind of crime, and if he gets convicted, I believe it'll be overturned on appeal.
The Make America Just Again PAC is obviously a play on words of Donald Trump's slogan, Make America Great Again. Does he know about your PAC? And if so, has he commented?
No, not to my knowledge. I met with him about 6 weeks ago in Mar-a-Lago. We had a long discussion, but I didn't bring up the pack at the time, so I'm not even sure he knows about it. He kind of has his hands full, Brittany.
I can imagine it. He could be still in court, depending on. I haven't been able to check yet since our conversation started. But what is next for the PAC?
Well, next for the fact, as I said, is to raise money to raise awareness of what's going on with all these soft on crime DAs, and to recommend, for example, that states do what Georgia did recently. Georgia legislatures set up a commission to investigate DAs that are not doing their jobs. The governor signed it, and the Democrats, of course, filed a lawsuit to hold it up. But I'm recommending that every state set up a commission of retired judges, retired DAs, so they can hear complaints from citizens who've been injured or who have loved ones who've been injured by people who are on the streets who otherwise should not be on the streets, and it can make recommendations for the removal of these DAs who are not doing their jobs.